What to do, y'all? We're back. It's your boy BLKFinesse. We are here to watch your boy Eric Wayweather. Been watching his videos for a high little minute. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for your boy. This one's called Huge News Revealed for Maximum Football 23. I'm not exactly sure what this is really going to be, considering that Madden is already a thing. I'm not exactly sure if Maximum is really going to get a lot of players. It really depends on what kind of perks come behind it, the promos, the downloadable content. I don't know. The question is, why did they bring this game out? What is it supposed to represent? High school, college? Because NCAA is supposed to be coming out. I mean, is there going to be superpowers on this stuff? Is it going to be like backyard football? But, let's check it out because...
Maximum Football, the latest simulation football game, is set to drop in a few weeks on PC and a few months later on consoles. And with that game being so close to release, people have a lot of questions after the trailer dropped, which looks very promising. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, the creators of Maximum Football let out a ton of info that a lot of people don't seem to know about, so let's cover it right now. And if you want to see firsthand how this game plays and all of the features when it drops, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon so you don't miss those videos when I post them. For many casual gamers, EA Sports' Madden NFL series is synonymous with American football sims. Modest Games wants to change that perception with the return of Maximum Football, an established brand it acquired, tore down, and completely rebuilt in the last couple of years. After years of working quietly in the shadows, the cat's out of the bag. Releasing on PC in the spring of 2023 and later this year on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and the Xbox Series X/S, Maximum Football is a free-to-play American simulation developed in Unreal Engine 5. It aims to offer a premium football experience with endless customization and physics-based gameplay. Taking on the juggernaut that is the combination of EA Sports and the NFL Madden legacy is as David versus Goliath as it gets, so we chatted with David Michael Brown, Maximum Football's development director, on what exactly players can expect from this renewed competitor. Brown and his team have looked at a variety of games from the long history of American football sims for inspiration, naming some of the best received titles in the genre: Tecmo Bowl, 2K4, 2K5, Madden 04 through Madden 08, and Backbreaker is all titles we on the team have loved playing. I remember back in the day when I played 2K5, the controls were tight and it really made me feel like I was in control of the game. That's how we are building Maximum Football. We don't have long animations that involve 5 to 6 players. All of our animations are quick and we focus on transitioning in and out of them without interfering with user control. This, plus our focus on physics, ensures that we never have any plays that feel scripted or predetermined. The focus on responsiveness is one of the big differences between Maximum Football and the modern incarnations of Madden.
Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure if this is really necessary. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. I personally believe, this is just my own personal opinion, that they should probably make something related to NFL Street. Like back when EA Big used to be a thing, before they went out. This is more so like, I don't know. I'm not sure if people are gonna like this. This is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not sure if people are gonna like this. And I get the the physics. A lot of things gonna be away from user based, but I don't know. Like I'm a little iffy about it.
Instead of locking players into long animations, athletes will move as soon as something is happening on the joystick.
I mean, see, move as soon as something's done on the joystick. But then again, that makes it kind of realistic, because a lot of times in real physics, even though, like I said, I don't know if this game is going to be based off real animations or real physics, you don't see a lot of people doing things just like that. Some people don't have high movement, change of direction, high jumps, and stuff like that. This is going to be pretty much multi-animated. What I would like to say, basically saying that a lot of the movements are going to be pretty fake and fast. So this is pretty much what I'm hearing and what I'm expecting.
It feels immediate. Now, judging from the trailer, which blew a lot of people away recently, the gameplay does look very smooth and very physics-based. And while it might not have the same library of animations that a game like Madden does, because it's a newer game and also does not have the type of money that EA Sports has, that does not mean that the gameplay has to be bad. In fact, it looks good from watching the trailer, and if it plays anything like some of the better PS2 or Xbox 360 era football games, that would be really really solid, and that's a big place for this game to take a step up versus the older Maximum Football that they tore down and rebuilt. Another key aspect Maximum Football focuses on is customization. You can import almost any image you want as your logo, change any of your team colors, patterns, and equipment, edit your rosters as much as you want, and share all of it online, Brown says. The customization not only extends to visuals, names, and stats, but also to player strategies. At launch, players will be able to create their own playbooks, adding and removing plays at will. Support.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. If we can edit our own plays, yo, that would be so crazy. That the game would be broken. If I was able to edit my own routes and plays on a specific game, or make triple option plays, 3 different because old thing I used to do in high school. I was a wing. We ran wing T, and I was a T back. I wasn't a fullback because it's at least 2 running backs and like a fullback, which means we ran heavy and we did a lot of triple options. So I don't know, like that's interesting. Actually, I give a little few points for that.
Custom plays will be added in a future update. And this is another huge selling point for this game because this is one of the areas that modern day Madden games lack in a big way, and that's customization.
Okay.
And the older Maximum Football games had pretty good customization. From what we know about this updated version, it looks like it's going to be even better. And if they allow you to create real NFL teams and use real logos and things like that and share these online, it won't be long until somebody creates what looks like the NFL and Maximum Football. It might not be a 1-to-1 or look as good as it does in Madden, but it'll likely be close enough to where people that don't want to play Madden will be fine playing Maximum Football. If the gameplay is there and the customization and the depth is solid, and you can essentially recreate the NFL close enough in the game, that would satisfy a lot of people, and that's really big to see how that's going to unfold. While free-to-play games are present in most other genres nowadays, sports games have been comparatively slow to pick up this model. Soccer simulation eFootball being the most prominent example. Konami's title did not directly influence the decision to go free to play with Maximum Football though. Instead, the main aspect making the model interesting for their game, Brown says, is it allows them to build on the game over time alongside the community. Free to play gives us the freedom to respond to fan feedback throughout development and continue to add depth to the game modes over time, he explains. We want to create a football platform where users can play with tons of different rule sets, field configurations, severe weather changes, and more without having to relaunch the game every year. Users shouldn't have to rebuild their franchises from scratch every year when they purchase a new sports title. And this is another huge selling point of the game, and I don't even know if selling point is the correct way to word it because they're not actually selling anything, but this is another thing that's going to draw a lot of eyes to the game. One of the biggest issues with the modern day sports titles, not just with Madden, but with all the sports titles, is most people feel that year to year, the game does not change enough for you to go out and spend $60 or $70, but most people do it because they still want updated rosters and whatever little changes do come with the game. And what they're saying right here is that you should not have to do that and start everything over every year just to get some of these minimal changes. So instead, they're going to release it free and continue to update as much as they can until they maybe eventually release a new title down the line. But for some of these smaller or even medium-sized updates that you can put into a game, you shouldn't have to rebuy that game and restart your franchises, which is a big thing for a lot of people. People put a lot of time and effort into their franchises and they create a life of their own, and having to restart that every year when a new game comes out can get a bit old. So with this game, you might be able to actually grow something over a very long period of time and still are able to kind of take advantage of these updates as they implement them throughout the months.
So what I'm pretty much hearing is the pros to this is being able to customize. The cons is the animations and the physics. Okay, the graphics is top tier. I give them that one. It seems like we can only get much enjoyment out of it because it's free, but then again, you get a lot of customization. Now, depending on if you can win games based on these kind of physics, who knows?
Naturally, this begs the question of how Maximum Football will generate the revenue necessary for this continued development. Brown is not quite ready to reveal the entire monetization plans for the game, but explains that our plan is to evolve the game over time and continue to expand our feature set and create something that players can feel confident investing in. In addition to the robust customization options that exist for players, we'll be offering a selection of premium goods and licensed equipment that can be purchased to further expand the customization options. We will have more details on all of this at a later date. For sports games, another natural option aside from cosmetics are in-game ads, as real-life stadiums are full of them anyways. It's an option that's currently being explored for Maximum Football. They can be a great way to provide a degree of authenticity to the game, mirroring the atmosphere of real-world stadiums through their visual displays and ad banners and screens, Brown says. However, we will of course want to ensure that any promotional advertising in-game is not invasive or breaks the authenticity of the game, he continues. They should only appear in spaces where they add to the experience, not take away from it. Okay. Brown also promises that paid content would not split the player base, saying that online play is open to everyone. That way the online community isn't fractured and you can always find a match. This is going to be important for the long-term health of the game, since player retention is much easier with short queue times. And here's the thing, when games are free to play, I think people are mostly open to microtransactions as they don't have to pay for the game up front. And we all realize that companies have to make their money back somehow. Nobody's just making and putting all this time and money into a game for free with no return. So if you can find strategic ways to monetize the game without it being necessarily pay to play or without you having to purchase the game up front, I think most people are okay and understanding about that. And furthermore, if you release a really good product for free, people usually want to support you with money, because if the product is good, people do not have any problem typically forking money over to support. Getting to the topic of
it sounds like the only downside is being able to make the money back. Okay, so I'm thinking for an idea, okay, you got like real, how do you explain it? You got animated uniforms. That'd be one. Type of pigskin football, customizable footballs. What could be one more? I don't know. There isn't much you can do with it being high customizable. You know what I'm trying to say. If you're able to customize a lot, that's the only downside. Just like how it is with Fall Guys. You know, Fall Guys is a free to play game, but they spend money buying uniforms, buying outfits and stuff. Whereas this one, Maximum Football, you're already customizing. So what way can you bring this back? What stadiums or something? What can you do?
Licenses, an important one for sports fans worldwide. We ask what players can expect in this department. After all, EA Sports has a firm grip on official NFL material. We have licenses with popular sports brands that we'll reveal in the future for some of our customizable player equipment, Brown reveals. Rather than provide users with their favorite teams and players, we will give users the tools to create whatever team or player they want on their own. This has been a go-to technique for sports games without licenses in the past, and with Maximum Football sharing features, it's conceivable that the entire NFL's lineup of teams and players will be available to download for the game just a week after launch. Licenses don't only come with advantages though. Some time ago, EA Sports had to tone down the tackle animations and collisions on Madden because the NFL did not like how violent they looked. There are lots of cool things that a licensed sports game just can't do because of licensing restrictions, Brown agrees. We don't have those constraints. We can make the hits as hard as they are in real life. For this, the team recorded thousands of hours of authentic animations from professional football players and combined them with a variety of systems to create ultra-realistic gameplay. Brown explains that during blocking engagements, we take the momentum from both players and use it to help determine which player gets leverage during the block. This leads to wonderful moments where athletes are flung through the air as players feel the visceral impact of the tackle. Animation-based physics help to keep these scenes fresh, making them look a little bit different every time. Another system featured in Maximum Football is depenetration, which helps reduce the amount of limbs sticking through other players' bodies by catching them and pushing them out before they're being rendered on the screen. The team used Unreal Engine 5 to achieve all of this. According to Brown, lighting, physics, audio, animation tools, and many other features built into Unreal 5 give us the ability to compete with AAA football titles. And that's a big claim to say that you can compete with AAA football titles, because let's be honest, EA, although you can say with Madden things have not gone great lately, they have a lot of money and a lot of resources. So even if the game is bad in certain areas, they're still putting a lot of money into it to where the graphics, the lighting, and some of the other stuff still looks really good. But what they're saying here is that Unreal Engine 5 is so great, which it is from what we know about it, that if they do things right in Unreal 5, that they can still compete with AAA titles, which is a big claim to make. Maximum Football will launch with online multiplayer, offering competitive and casual modes, as well as Dynasty and Pro Season mode, which for the time being will be only playable alone. We will start working on multiplayer Dynasty and franchise mode after launch, Brown says. Both modes will be in the same universe, so you'll be able to send Dynasty players to your franchise league and draft them onto your pro teams. Multiplayer will also only allow you to play against other players at launch, with team-based modes and co-op for 2 players coming later. We want to get all the way to 11 versus 11 big team modes where users can drop in and out of ongoing games, Brown says. Launch is priority right now. When asking about the accessibility features and controls, Brown says, we know players' expectations are going to be shaped by other games, so our intent is
11 on 11 is crazy. 11 on a full 11. Imagine 11 people going against other 11. That is crazy.
To ensure we're providing similar baseline features that players have come to expect. Brown and his team have hopefully learned from eFootball's catastrophic launch in this regard, which still dominates the perception around it to this day. First impressions are important after all. Some things will be missing at launch, but the studio is being transparent about it. There won't be commentators giving play-by-play initially, but it'll come when it's ready and polished in a future content update. Fans of previous Maximum Football titles also will have to live without the Canadian rule set for the time being, as this will be added later on. We know this is a feature that fans really want to see, and we are absolutely committed to making it happen. We're big fans as well. Just like launching on additional platforms or adding an Ultimate Team mode, these are luxury items for the time being. My hope is that by next year we will have proven to football fans that Maximum Football is a real competitor in this space and that we are here to stay for the long run. We're excited about the experience we're planning to deliver on day 1, and we're even more excited about where this game will be by the end of year 1. And I have to say, after reading all of this and seeing the trailer, I'm pretty hyped. It sounds like we're going to have a pretty good football game on our hands, and I've spoken to some people that work there, and it sounds like they definitely are in this for the long run, that they are trying to be around and they're going to try to build a great game here. And if they have a good starting point, which it looks like they do, the next few years we could have a game that maybe could rival Madden or could be a real competitor in the space. Now, initially, I don't want to call it a competitor because I just don't think it's fair to them. They're competing with a AAA studio that has way more money than them, and also Maximum Football is still kind of presented more as a college game first versus a pro game. But it sounds like by reading this article that they do want to compete, that they do want to be a competitor in the space. So if they want to be that, then I'll call them that for sure, because it sounds like they're very serious about building a good game here. And I think out the gate we're going to have a really good base game, better than the old Maximum Footballs were by far. And then what's going to really be telling is over the next couple of years what they're able to add and how they're able to build alongside the community. And while we're on the topic of the football games,
so I'm more so excited about being able to customize your teams, your plays, and all that stuff. Not so excited about how it looks. Just based off this video alone, the animations don't look that real. But I think it's because I'm so used to Madden that a lot of stuff that I'm seeing on Maximum Football doesn't look like how it would look in real life. Maybe that's just me, because those fast spins, not very much realistic. Trucking people head high and flipping them on their back, kinda, you know, I don't know, like I have to see when it comes out, like what it will look like. But you know, comment, like, subscribe down below. See what BLKFinesse, we out.